Welcome everyone to Precious Metals with Leif. Today we'll deep dive into the Canadian maple, both on its own and compared with some other nice popular coins. So, compared to the American silver eagles, the maples are quite a lot slimmer and taller, and I wouldn't draw any conclusions, but someone with less discretion might think it's funny that the USA is the less attractive, fatter sister of Canada. Opening it up, we have an absolutely beautiful high polished face with Queen Elizabeth. Um, let's zoom in a little bit. We can kind of see some small surface imperfections on the high gloss finish. This should be really due to my rough handling of it and the coins scratching up against each other in the tube. The pattern around her head does give a little bit of a moire disturbance in the image sensor. This is not visible at all with the naked eye. Flipping the coin over, we do get the side that gives the coin its name, the Canadian maple leaf. For some reason, while every other nation chose some fierce animal like a lion or whatever, the Canadians chose a, well, leaf of a sugary tree. I guess maybe the French settlers thought it would be kind of silly that a nation known for nice sweets and treats would have a, and maybe not so good warriors, would have a fierce animal as its symbol. I think they actually chose well. This is a really crisp pattern, quadruple 9 of purity, worn loud and proud on both sides of the symbol. Really nice reliefed text. Knurling looks kind of good to me. Some minor imperfections, but all in all, looks great. Back to the head side. The high polish is kind of hard to show on camera, but if we flip it around a little bit in the light, I think you'll get most of the details. Some people claim that the Queen actually lived through both the Spanish flu and Corona, but I was kind of disappointed to discover that she missed the Spanish flu by quite a few years actually. Probably think I got it mixed up with World War II, but in these pandemic times, everything just morphed into a pandemic in my head. So, Queen Elizabeth II, for some reason, the Queen of Canada as well. You might see some green tint in some lights. That's actually my flower pots. I didn't dare to move them around due to my wife. There's obviously no green tint in the coin itself. Okay, moving on to our first comparison with the American Silver Eagle, the titan of this industry. Obviously the most striking difference is the all matte finish versus the glossy parts of the maple. The diameter is a little bit smaller on the maple, making it also a little bit thicker. The amount of fine details on the maple kind of almost makes the Silver Eagle look a little bit dull. Knurling is similar. I'd say these are probably equal in quality as for the knurling. The imagery, however, the Queen just seems more detailed. Could be due to that the high gloss makes it look a little bit more striking. Comparing with another classic, the Perth Mint Australian Kangaroos. For some reason, another member of this strange Commonwealth thing, so they share the Queen even though they're on the separate sides of the earth. They went for a sunk relief text versus the low relief of the maples, making the text extremely difficult to read. The Queen is a little bit less glossy. She has bigger pearls, but also a crown. The knurling, I think, is probably toe to toe. They seem kind of the same. Quality of these coins, I would say, from this side, it it really is the same. Maybe the Australians are a little bit less uniform. Flipping it over to the tail side, the Australians do stay with the theme of having extremely disturbing patterns. The Canadians, that pattern does mess up the image sensor a little bit, but looks great on the eyes. And the Australians, I think it's the opposite. It's almost impossible to read. If you can read it, you'll be delighted to discover that the Australians also use a quadruple 9 purity of the silver, but it's hard to spot that on the text. This huge marsupial actually has very detailed fur, if you can see it. Okay, comparing with another classic, the British 1 ounce Britannias. Queen is still in high gloss, but they made her a little bit fancier. She does have the crown and the big earring. She did ditch the necklace, however, but a very intricate pattern. But does she have a slight smirk on the British coin? On the Australian one, they gave her kind of a resting bitch face. On the maple, it's more neutral. I think the British made her look the most friendly. She's smiling a little bit. This is almost an act of war inside the Commonwealth. The pattern around her head is super intricate as well. The level of detail on the tail side, I think the Britannias almost win this fight actually. It's a little bit more difficult to see due to so many different patterns and qualities, but Britannia is really armed to the teeth. Look at that trident. Maybe that's why Canada felt forced to join the Commonwealth. The level of detail is great. They also went with a readable text. I think actually the Britannia might win this fight. Not the knurling, however. The knurling is terrible. It's not uniform and it's kind of discolored. Comparing to another classic, the Krugerrand of South Africa. This one is mostly known as a gold coin, but they make them in silver as well, and it looks great. Kruger himself rocking the timeless neckbeard, being a symbol of the fight against the British. You can almost feel him vibrating this close to the Queen. Turning them over, we see a nice little antelope. I think they kind of messed up the details a little bit on that one. What should be details of the fur more looks like a scar from getting shanked in prison or something. I don't know. The matte finish is really nice, but it is a little bit less intricate with no gloss and not this cool sunray pattern. It's a more subtle coin, definitely. It looks a little bit more like the American Eagles. Obviously, quality is great. Knurling is probably the best so far. It's extremely uniform. It feels like these guys really know how to make a coin. I mean, in a parallel universe, I guess the two faces on these coins, I could probably see them as a cool power couple that we could all ship. I mean, just look at them. Queen maybe looking a little bit friendlier, but isn't that how it's supposed to be? Yeah, I think so. Going back for some close-up shots of the maple by itself. The level of detail, it's really stunning. How do they make every single little vein on the leaf? It's crazy. They gotta be pressing millions or at least hundreds of thousands of these a year. Keeping this level of detail on each and every one, it's just beyond me. Really beautiful coin. the ray pattern coming out from the middle. Looks great. Maybe it's a little bit boring they chose those rays for both sides. Could have been fun to have different patterns like the Britannias. I could definitely give this coin the official Leif seal of approval, both for fondling and stacking. Glossy finish will get some wear and tear, however. But still, awesome coin. 2 Leif thumbs up. Okay, so thank you for tuning in to the Precious Metals with Leif show, episode 1. We've been enjoying the venerable Canadian maple, and I hope that you have enjoyed this coin just as much as I did. Thank you.